It's Madden NFL 23. And coming up, we'll get a look at Ezekiel Elliott. He was terrific a week ago. Well over 100 yards and several stops in the end zone. It's the Cowboys and the Commanders, and it comes your way next.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Bringing him out, CD, it's a rookie from South Dakota State by way of Samford and South Florida. Well-traveled. Here's Chris Oladokun. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Oladokun on 1st and 10. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, as you can see, they're not operating at full health today, partner. That's been a big story the last couple of weeks. But the bottom line, their record is solid, and you know that this is still a very dangerous team, even with those guys missing.
What they have shown us throughout this season is that this team has stayed focused, and some injuries, they're just not going to derail the momentum they've built up all season long. They continue to go out there and play and give their best performances.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. Oladokun now out of the gun. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Oladokun again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Christian McCaffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, That's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clock. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. 1st and 10, here's Oladokin. Setting up the screen, Harris.
Oh, look at the juke. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Oladokin. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Equanimeous St. Brown, 30 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. 2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 East. In trouble, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Under pressure, they got him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. We're going to look at Equanimeous St. Brown as he and the rest of the crew march out onto the field. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Elliott running right, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I think it's back to the drawing board, or should I say in today's game, the Surface tablet after this drive. 3 plays, they go backwards. They will look like they've gotten something going right there, but they'll have to punt the football away to end this one.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
And checking in on what's going on up in the Meadowlands.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10.
At their own 46. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. De'Ami Brown.
54 yards.
And the Commanders are able to add on to their first half lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. A couple of touchdown strikes there from Justin Fields. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Travis Etienne with a touchdown run. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Now that's Elliott, complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Dallas, Texas is the spot, 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Prescott now from the 50. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Prescott from the gun. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Here's St. Brown on the return. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's not the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Room here to run. Touchdown, Washington. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Commanders have got it on cruise control.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. finally here in the second half, that got done.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy as we know. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And again, it's Prescott. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here is Washington now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Let's go now.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And some space here. There he goes, right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, I can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. safe to say we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of his end zone, Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away. Returnable here for St. Brown. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Harris running straight ahead. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 156 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From the 6. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
This player's development trait is hidden. Put him in your lineup and evaluate him on the field to unlock his true potential. It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and the spotlight is on Najee Harris. He was unstoppable a week ago with 4 touchdowns. It's the Commanders and the Titans. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Tennessee Titans and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't...
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he goes out of bounds after a solid return to the 45. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And bringing them out, CD, it's a rookie from South Dakota State by way of Samford and South Florida, well-traveled. Here's Chris Oladokun.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, and we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here. But that return gives him a golden opportunity. out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Oladokin fakes a give. Now he'll throw it. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Oladokin to the air on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Najee Harris with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Commanders need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here come the Titans for their first possession on offense, and leading them out in his 4th season with the team, 10th overall in the NFL, Ryan Tannehill. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Looking for Traylon Burks that time. That'll bring up second down. Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
It's a loss of 11 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. Extra point forthcoming. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tannehill, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. It proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. On 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taking on the midfield logo. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. It's Oladokin on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. This defense for the Titans, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Now Oladokin, 3rd and long. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got him. Touchdown! Equanimous St. Brown from 21 yards away. And the Commanders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point up and through, and it's now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tannehill, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigs get at the 7-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic, and a great
touchdown, Washington. Christian McCaffrey. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the rout is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come. Second quarter now. Titans in possession of the football. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Tannehill. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Diggyzawa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Najee Harris and the rest of this offense work their way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well.
Touchdown, Washington! Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. Well, coming up in prime time here in Week 5, a couple of division rivalries on the docket, beginning tonight in the AFC North with the Bengals and Ravens from Baltimore at 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Raiders and Chiefs from Arrowhead in the AFC West. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Tannehill. can't get away, and he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. Back to throw. That's going to be caught by C.J. Board. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Tannehill. Under pressure, and down he goes. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. 7th play in this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Oladokin on 1st and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Equanimeous St. Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. No problem there on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Tannehill now to throw. He'll get this complete to Board. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A 1st down carry for Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Henry again on 2nd down. And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now, so as you mentioned.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded right around the 8. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Third and long, it's Tannehill. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken just inside the 10. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Back to throw, Tannehill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken just inside the 10. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To try again after the sack, Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. First and 10, here's Oladokin. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. To throw, Oladokin. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 2 yards to go on third down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch in. Back now at FedEx Field. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Oladokin on third down here. Open man right side is St. Brown. Touchdown, Washington. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 34 yards. And the Commanders are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To throw again on second down. Tannehill. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. So third and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side. And then
under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. We get a look at Equanimeous St. Brown as he and the rest of the crew march out onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now, they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way?
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. We're going to look at Equinemius St. Brown as he and the rest of the crew march out on the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And he'll be brought down just shy of 40. And they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he's got his target, Harris. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the try here for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a Najee Harris touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest.